Hi guys, happy Sunday. This is James of Faithful Angelino Sports with a special report. Why the Galaxy suck. This is not a troll thing. It's basically because I post rapid recaps after Galaxy games, win or lose. And people of after yesterday's loss, a nice guy, he saw the rapid recap and asked me what type of player the team should get in order to turn things around. And this is a question that I've been getting a lot lately. Not that I'm a massive soccer expert, but the Galaxy do need to make some sort of a change. The team was shut out by Colorado last night. A couple of nights before, they were humiliated by San Jose. They just won only one match in a little bit more than a month, which is very alarming. Even worse, the franchise that is the only team to win the MLS Cup 5 times is in danger of missing the playoffs for the 5th time in 6 years. And making MLS Cup playoffs, by the way, is not that hard. It's not. So this is a real problem for LA. Now, I'm not a soccer expert, but I do know that there is a necessary first step that must be made in order to fix the Galaxy. I know this because I've covered professional sports for newspapers across California for more than half my life, more than 25 years. And there is a fundamental difference between teams that are successful and teams that just flounder around, much like the Galaxy are doing right now. There are many ways you could turn a team around. There's one way: you could look at your roster and determine strengths and weaknesses. Then you decide to either upgrade at what you suck at, or you just go all out for what you're good at and try to make that so dominant that you're forcing your will on your opponents. But the problem is the Galaxy have issues there too, because they don't know necessarily what they're good or what they're terrible at. They're mid in both sides of the game. Offensively, the Galaxy have scored just 28 goals. That's an average of 1.4. That's 13th in the league. That's mid. Consider like Austin, they average about 2 per game. If LAFC has an amazing offensive explosion, they'll catch Austin. Same thing, 2 goals a game. Defensively, LA has conceded 27 times. 14th in the league. Again, that's mid. So we can argue for weeks about dream players, positions, whatever. The Galaxy simply doesn't excel at anything. One signing, even if the player is elite, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to be the solution. So what does that tell me? It tells me that they don't even have an identity. Now, sure, you can put Chicharito's name on the posters and sell a bunch of jerseys with that, but a player's name is not an identity. That's simply marketing. What a team identity is, and you see this with successful teams, it's like a business plan. If you've ever read anything about home businesses, you want a loan to grow your business, you have to bring a business plan to the bank so that they know how you're planning on succeeding. If you want your company on the stock exchange, investors also want to see your business plan. What a business plan is, it's a definition of who you are and how you plan on succeeding. For example, hi everyone, I'm Steve Jobs. My company's called Apple, and we want to make some computers for your own home. And we're even going to make cell phones that are powerful computers that you can slip into the back pocket. Just try not to break the screen or you're out another grand. Now, not every plan is going to work, but at least if you have one, it becomes a roadmap. You need a map to know where you're going. If you don't have a map, your trip is chaos. And every successful sports team has something very similar to this. Okay? Hi, we're the Los Angeles Lakers. We want to get the best center we can, and we want to get the best guard we can. That way we can dominate both inside and out on the court. It worked with Chamberlain and Jerry West. It worked with Kareem and Magic. It worked with Kobe and Shaq. And it even to a lesser extent worked with LeBron and Anthony Davis. That's our plan. That's how we win. Hi, we're the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're Blitzburgh. Defensively, you'll never see us coming because we'll blitz from anywhere on the field. We're going to kick the crap out of your quarterback until he cries like a kid with a broken balloon. That's how we're going to win titles. And as a result, it didn't matter if the Lakers signed, quote, a player, unquote. They wanted to get a player that fit the need for their plan. Same with Pittsburgh. At the draft, they don't do best player available. They know what type of player they're looking for. They find a player that fits within their plan. And if you want to think about it, sometimes these teams even deviate from the plan. There was a brief spell about 6 years ago where the Lakers threw away their plan and they tried to become the Golden State Warriors. That's the Golden State Warriors plan. That's how the Warriors win. They knew how to execute it. The Lakers didn't. And as a result, the Lakers had the worst stretch in franchise history. The Dodgers didn't have a plan for decades until they signed Andrew Friedman as the club's president. Moreover, read the book Moneyball. That's the Oakland A's business plan to a T. It doesn't mean they're going to win a title every year, but it just means every few years they're going to be really good. Nobody knows if the LA Galaxy even have any plan now. That's important. Nobody knows what the Galaxy do to win games. It's a detail. In their heyday, they built through the midfield. I mean, sure, Robbie Keane scored a ton of goals, but those were created by a midfield that included the likes of Landon Donovan, David Beckham, and all that. There is no plan with the current Galaxy franchise. The big clue? We don't even know what formation they're going to line up in from week to week. They started the year in a 4-2-3-1. They switched to a 4-3-3, back to a 4-2-3-1, then a 4-4-2, and I think even a 3-5-2. Last night they tried 4-4-1-1. They don't have a plan. They don't have a roadmap. Players need that defined roles from week to week. If you look across town, LAFC has run a 4-3-3 in literally every game that they have played since they first took the pitch. There's no deviation from what LAFC does. And there's a lot to be said for that. Now, I'm confident that I know the flaws in the LAFC approach, but in the irregular season at least, it's a plan that has worked for them. Now, you might say this instability is on manager Greg Vanney, and to an extent you have a point, but who creates the franchise's overall plan? It's supposed to be the people above the coach. Pat Riley and Phil Jackson didn't create the Lakers plan. They instituted the Lakers plan. You look at Pittsburgh. It didn't matter if the coach is Mike Tomlin, Bill Cowher, or Chuck Noll. People above the coaches create the plan. They create the roadmap. And then they find out if the plan works, and then they keep it. Players, coaches, they fill the role of the roadmap. And that's one of the reasons why defender for the Galaxy, Derek Williams, after Saturday's loss, complained about other players having their own agenda. Because nobody has a plan to follow. So everybody just follows their own plan. And that is something that extends from the front office down. It doesn't matter if the LA Galaxy signs some of the biggest names the sport has ever seen. It doesn't matter that Chicharito is the most famous scorer in Mexican history. It doesn't matter that they signed Zlatan Ibrahimovic. What matters is, do they have a plan that makes sense, and do the players that they sign fit it? If you don't fit the plan, it's chaos. And that's what the Galaxy are. That is why the Galaxy are screwed. Either the players don't fit the plan, or even worse, again, I suspect there is no plan. Everybody from the front office to Greg Vanney to the players, they all have different agendas. And that's why Galaxy supporters demanding that club president Chris Klein get fired has become such a thing. LA Galaxy fans, I want to give you credit. I don't think you're stupid. And I sure hope you're not stupid, because I am one, obviously. I think you recognize it without me having to break it down like this. When Greg Vanney was originally hired to be the manager, Galaxy bloggers and podcasters all praised the hire as a one-step solution to all of the Galaxy's problems. And so I asked the Twitter account for Corner of the Galaxy if they were sure of this, because I had my doubts. Corner of the Galaxy dismissed me as an idiot, which is fine. A lot of people think I'm an idiot. My wife thinks I'm an idiot. All of the Galaxy's problems were solved, I was told. I guess not. Vanney didn't forget how to coach. He has a vision of what wins games, and he believes it works because it worked for him over in Toronto. Only much like the players on the pitch have their own agenda, so too does the Galaxy front office. The man who preceded Chris Klein didn't have an extensive soccer background, but he knew how to manage. Tim Lewicki insisted everybody be on the same page of their roadmap. Follow it, and it worked for 5 championships. And as a result, It succeeded in ways that made the LA Galaxy the envy of an entire league. But it's also why the LA Galaxy suck now. It's as simple as that. So in sum, it's not about getting a player, it's about the plan. It's about creating order from anarchy. Chris Klein has allowed chaos to infiltrate the LA Galaxy from top to bottom. That is your answer. That is why people go on Twitter with hashtag Klein out. It is the first step to solving what ails the league's most celebrated franchise. Now, if you agree, and even if you disagree with this take, well, hey, I encourage you to like and subscribe to Faithful Angelinos. As you know, we talk MLS soccer on this channel. Thank you for watching this special report. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Have a good day.